Hey Ranger Nation, so welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at Power Rangers Now, or Michael's tweets that he asked Hasbro about the toys as well as the TV series. And there was quite a few things in here that kind of really made me go, I kind of really want to know about this. So I'm going to go through pretty much each one on here. Before we get back into this video, if you want to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. First off, the main one was Hasbro says Magna Defender Lightning Collection figure does not have a human head because they wanted to start with the origin story version of Magna Defender before Mike takes over. Now, I've got to admit, I never really kind of thought about it like that. I think that's actually quite cool that they're actually doing this rather than throwing in Mike's head or anything like that. So, okay, I'm generally okay with that one. The next one says Hasbro does not want to put two human heads in the Lightning Collection package. Example: Kimberly and Catherine together for the Mighty Morphing Pink Ranger figure, so they can celebrate each character one at a time. Now, that's actually again something I kind of agree with. But the only kind of downside to that is if they decide not to do Zeo Pink, then we're not going to get the Catherine head. I know a lot of fans would only want Kimberly, but I kind of would have preferred Catherine on this one rather than Kim. But if they decide to do a Zeo Pink much down the line, which could happen, and you could generally think, okay, yeah, she's coming out, so obviously you can interswap heads, so therefore you can have it. But I generally would have liked Catherine more than Kimberly on this one, but obviously the fans would always go for Kim on this. So the next one is, to get a second head such as Catherine, fans may not necessarily have to buy the same figure down the line. Hasbro fans don't want to pay another $20 for the same figure, but with a different human head, so they're looking into other ways to achieve this. This is a great thing. The way that I would do this is mainly have like a selection of different heads along the way. So Magna Defender would be one, then obviously you've got Catherine, and then any of the other heads, maybe you could have multiple Tommy heads as well. That could be a thing. I think that you can have a lot of maybe weapon packs as well. That would work quite well. So maybe after a certain time for $20, you could get a selection of, like, say 5 heads, some weapons, something extra that we didn't normally see, rather than buying the same figure, because I know that's what Bandai would have done. They would, if they were in charge of this, they would have gone, here's Kimberly. Oh wait, you want Catherine? Here's the same figure with just the same head, and that's it. So I know Bandai would have done that. If you look at doing this, like a head pack or a weapons pack, then I can see this working quite well. Well, yeah, obviously, weapons come with the figures, but you know what I mean. If they decide to do different figures and like different accessories for it. Hasbro is now looking into where they can fix the Lightning Collection figure helmets for those fans that feel they're off. Example, Mighty Morphing Red. I think if you're going to be doing this, actually sculpt this rather than rush it, because if the sculpt head doesn't look great on Mighty Morphing Red, maybe it's a point where if you want to get this right straight away, take your time. Maybe it could be a thing is, if you've bought this, you show your receipt and then you send it to Hasbro, that they will obviously issue a different helmet to you, so you can keep the original one. And then you get this other one, or you send the helmet to them and then you get one back. It's simple as that. Either way, I think that if you take a lot of time, that's probably a bit better than just kind of rushing it, because everyone can wait for Mighty Morphing Red, everyone can wait for Zeo Gold, but if you get them wrong at the first time, it kind of makes you go, oh, okay, yeah, that's not the best one. Is the goal for the Lightning Collection to do every Ranger ever? That would be awesome, but there are 26 years, so right now we're just focusing on the ones fans tell us are their favorites. That's the reason why we're getting Mighty Morphing then. I kind of like this idea, but I generally think it would be a good idea to release all the Rangers over time. Get the fan favorite ones and then slowly start producing the rest of them. Only because everyone will want a full team. Now, I know that if they do Jungle Fury, I'd want RJ, I'd want the others to go with it. If they did Zeo, I would love, well, they've done Zeo Gold. If they start doing the others, I would rather have all a Zeo team much later on. If there are other ones, I don't know, say Mystic Force, if Super Mega Force, these are the ones that I kind of really want. I'd want an entire team rather than just like one individual. But maybe it's kind of a thing where you can have different ones, like, you can have a mix mash team. That's how I kind of want it, but I would love an entire team, and I don't want it to be Mighty Morphing all the time because it's just boring. That's what Bandai did constantly. What would Hasbro say to a fan who isn't buying the Lightning collection figures because they want complete teams? They say, we can't satisfy every fan, but we are constantly listening to what they want and trying to satisfy them all. Stay tuned. Okay, that's a good one. That's kind of like a follow-up saying, like, if you want this one, tell us. If there is enough stuff for this, then yes, you can have this one Ranger, or you can have this team, or whatever. I'm liking the fact that Hasbro are really looking into it and actually listening to fans. I felt like this is what Bandai should have done. They should have listened to the fans. They should have said, okay, what do you want? Rather than constantly saying, you are getting Mighty Morphing, you are getting Tommy, that is it. You want this Ranger? You aren't getting that one. That to me is a really big thing. That I like the fact that Hasbro are listening to people, so that is a tick in my book. Why is the Lightning Collection so gender lopsided so far? Hasbro says they are looking at more than gender. They're also looking at types of characters, their origin stories, good guys versus bad guys. Now, yes, a lot of people have turned around and said, why are we not getting more females? Obviously, Kimberly is the first one, and I think later on in these sorts of questions, you find out that they wanted to get the articulation right for the correct characters. So you have the butterfly effect, or the butterfly articulation, which I kind of really like. I would like to see some more villains, though. I think that's what I would kind of like to see, because we've all, Lord Zed was stunning. I'd love to see maybe Trakina, Astromina. I would like to see Roxy. These sorts of characters that really stand out, that are in the kind of main focus right now. So this is what I kind of really want. So if we got like a bad guy per wave, I think that would kind of like suit things, or two waves, or maybe you'd have an entire wave of just bad guys. But then would they? Yeah, they would sell. They would sell. Hasbro also admits they're looking at Bandai's previous shortcomings as a reference. Thank you. Right. That I think is the best way, because Bandai was so focused on Mighty Morphing. They did it for years because they were so scared of moving away, and this was kind of confirmed in an interview. So Bandai were very kind of focused on MMPR. That was it. And you had the first wave, you had MMPR, and then suddenly you had metallic MMPR, and then you had other MMPR, and then all the stuff was just focused. And when they actually got feedback, say when they went to Zeo, you had people turning around saying, oh my God, this is amazing. And then they go straight back to it. They didn't explore the entire franchise that you had. You have over 26 years, or back then 25 years, to really go through everything and go, this is what we can do. But they were just so stuck back in 93, which kind of really annoyed me a lot. But I'm kind of glad that they're looking back at the problems that Bandai had, and that they are just literally using it as we're not doing that. That failed. Well done, Bandai. Thanks for giving us the blueprints for this. And yeah, I just think that's a good thing. But I'm so glad that they did it in a nice PR. Well, we're looking at them as a reference to make sure that we can do something better. Hasbro, if it was an entity, would just go pat Bandai on the back and go, you did well, but we can do better. And it shows in the amount of product, the amount that we're seeing from the TV show, as well as a lot of other things. This to me is something just amazing. Hasbro also says, although they haven't done many female figures yet, it's because they're doing them right. Citing Kimberly's figure new upper body articulation. And again, I think that's quite cool. It's basically butterfly type articulation, which works. I think that is a generally good thing. When asked if Scrozzle will get hashtag Power Rangers Beast Morphers figure, Hasbro said they are limited in how many characters they can do. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if this is just a way of them saying, we haven't actually got one just yet, or he is on his way. But for me, I would rather have a Scrozzle figure than, say, one enemy of the week. I think that if you've done Evox, Blaze, and Roxy, Scrozzle would have been the first one to do as well. I'd have him there, because it's not like that character is how do I say, like a background character. It's not like a monster that, or a character that is like pushed to the side. He is a vital part of the entire show and a main character. So you think that they would make it, rather than say making one of the bad guy. I can't remember. I know that there's a few bad guys. So for me, I would really love if they did Scrozzle more, like just one figure, or if they did him in a Lightning collection rather. So if you couldn't have him in the main series, have him in the Lightning collection. I would really, really like that. I think that'd be cool. And I hope that if he is made, or when he is made, he comes with a little Robotron maker. I think that would be kind of cool. The villain hashtag Power Rangers Beast Morphers figures have a more limited leg mobility because Hasbro feels the Rangers are the ones that need all the action. They're the ones you pose more. I would kind of disagree with that one, because effectively, if you can have a Ranger actually in a decent pose, you'd want a bad guy to be in a pose as well, so that they could fight it out, rather than just generic standing there, arms up. So I think that if you're going to make the Rangers more articulate, then I would rather have all the villains more articulate as well, because it just makes more sense, rather than just kind of going with the, oh, no one wants to pose them. And I know it's not a thing that Hasbro are doing, but you know, Bandai didn't really care in this one. And can you imagine like the fight scenes you could have, you know, if you had like a Megazord versus a monster, you know, actually posing properly rather than going up and down. So I think that if you're going to make the Rangers more articulate, make the bad guys as well, because, you know, the Rangers have to fight bad guys, and, you know, even if they're in a cool move, you'd want the bad guys in a cool move. Otherwise, they're just going to stand there and get kicked. The only way fans can buy the all 5 Power Rangers Beast Morphers Zords together is in today's newly announced Amazon exclusive. That's fine. But is that going to stay an Amazon like exclusive? You know, can I buy this on Amazon.co.uk? You know, I know I can buy it from .com, but does this mean that I am limited, or is it going to come to Smith's or the Entertainer over here in the UK? So I kind of see it. They want it to be an exclusive, so obviously they can see how many you're buying. Maybe this is a way, rather than doing the pulse thing, this is a really good way of saying, hey, you know, how many of these are going to sell? Is it something that we can do later on in the future? But to be fair, when you look at that bad boy, that is a giant, that is a big boy. It's huge. So I generally think that it would be a great addition to anyone's team. So I'm going to pick one up when I can. The Striker Morpher toy fans have seen so far, Power Rangers Beast Morphers, is that it? There is no other version coming. So I generally thought that we would have another version. I thought that was the Nerf gun, but I generally would have liked more. I think I might pick up the Japanese one because it looks cooler. The Nerf gun, if it can, I hope it can fire a few, not just one bullet, because that was a waste on the lion thing that Bandai did. But I think I'm going to pick up the Japanese one more on this one because it just looks more accurate. I know a lot of people have complained about it, but I generally think the Japanese one's the better one. Power Rangers Beast Morphers Grid Battle Force backpack seen at the Toy Fair releases this fall at GameStop. Cool. I know a few people who would want that. I'm just hoping that it's not just limited, so when it comes over here to the UK, would we get a bit more? But so far, yeah, that looks kind of cool, kind of like that. So yeah, I've seen the bag, kind of really want it. Hopefully we're going to see it soon. Or because I know GameStop's like blocked in the UK for some strange reason. Yeah, that's a bit weird, but there'll be a way of getting that backpack if it doesn't come over here to the UK. That is pretty much it for the kind of like the questions for Hasbro. Now I'm going to do another video on the kind of talking about the TV series, because this video is going to be long enough, and there's like kind of so much to talk about in the next one. So at the end of the kind of questions here, I wanted to kind of ask some about the international ones. It's fair enough we got all the American questions, but there were some things that I wanted to talk about, mainly because I sometimes think that the UK as well, the rest of Europe, doesn't get the same sort of treatment. I feel that maybe Hasbro, I mean, this could be thoughts on from Bandai, where the UK would just be like, you know, it's not a big thing, where most of the fans are over here as well, and we want to help support the brand. But when we see stuff like worldwide exclusives only in America, but there is no word in the UK, or no one knows. So I would have preferred more questions to be aimed for the international one. Mainly something where you've got, will we get the same sorts of exclusives? For example, Black Armored Ranger from Mighty Morphing, will we get that as a Smiths exclusive or an Entertainer exclusive? You know, will we get the ability to buy the San Diego Comic-Con pack, which is apparently only available in America through the Pulse? And this is one thing that does infuriate me, because I want to know on some sort of level playing field, are we going to be that sort of like place? Are we going to get these? Or is it going to be something like these will roll in much later? Do we have to import from other websites? These little things need to be, I think, kind of answered. I'd also kind of want like rather than like just an American release, I would love a whole international release where the figures come out the same day, you know, either the same time, where, you know, at 9 o'clock in the morning in the UK and 9 o'clock in the morning of America. Obviously there's time difference, but this, I think these are the sort of questions that I would ask for us, only because, yeah, I just kind of really want to know. There's a whole load of other questions that I kind of like I asked. Are we going to be getting any of the villain roleplay sets? I think that would be kind of cool. I would love a Roxy Morpher, a Blaze Morpher, something like that. Maybe a laptop thing, that would be kind of cool. A Robotron maker. Some of the other questions I asked was, will we be getting an adult clothing line? I really wanted cool t-shirts. You've seen them in, say, Loot Crate, where they have different designs. People are making different designs, that as well. So I kind of really want to see more of a clothing line, not just focused on MMPR, something that's kind of cool, maybe some clothes inspired by the Sentai. You know, there's loads of little things that could be easily done. Originally, we saw the Lightning Collection. I wanted to know is, would we be getting more? Because the Lightning Collection is a huge success. Would we get more of the figures much down the line, like a lot quicker, rather than just say like every 6 months or something? So PMC, they had questions saying, you know, we'd only get select ones, so would we get more? But that's been kind of really answered straight away. Again, referring back to my question on how America and UK gets exclusives. So the question I asked was, with exclusives in America, are there any plans to release them outside the country so the rest of the world can get them, mainly UK, Europe? Because could we order from Hasbro direct? Is Hasbro only focusing on America right now? So I know that they've mentioned that they want to bring in the Pulse. So I kind of really want that to happen, but will it? Who knows? It'd be kind of cool if they did say, yeah, we'll do internationally, because you've got other companies that, you know, Amazon, Nippon, Yasan, you've got all these companies that can ship worldwide. So you think Hasbro, with the powerhouse that they've got behind them, would be able to kind of figure. I wouldn't mind paying more for shipping as long as I knew that I was going to easily get like an exclusive. So there were kind of a few questions. If I get a chance to ask Hasbro this themselves at Power Morphicon or Con, if they're at the same time, I will do, because I do believe that we need kind of more answers, and I think the rest of the world would kind of like to know them. So if you've got any questions that you would like Hasbro to know, like let me know down below in the comments, and if I get a chance, I'll come back to this video, jot them all down and kind of ask them. So Ranger Nation, I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts on all the questions that Power Rangers Now, that Michael asked? Do you agree with them? Do you like the answers that they kind of gave? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you've liked this video, then why not hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. And as always, Ranger Nation, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.